here with a dream of building a new Nepal, with a fire of hope and passion burning within me. But my heart is heavy because this dream seems to be slipping away. Rise and shines, futures of this upcoming imperial empire. I, Yoshka Raut, the head boy of this everlasting imperial institute, Holy Well English Secondary School, welcomes you with open arms to our 24th annual program. I put myself before you this moment to shed light within your consciousness by piercing the dark nimbus that circles above you. I am present here today to immortalize a monumental change in the course of history. Nepal, our mother, this country gave us birth, nurtured us. But what did it ask in return? Just our honesty, our hard work, our contribution. But what are we doing? We are bounded by the chains of unemployment, being abroad in search of opportunities. We are trapped by the selfish gains of political parties, corruption and war unaware that is extinguishing the life of our futures. Youth, rise! We are the charter bearers of change. If we do not raise our voices, who will? If we do not raise our voices, who will? If we do not build this nation, who will? We are the fire that will burn away the darkness. We are the storm that will sweep away injustice and bring prosperity. Our ancestors shed their blood to give us this nation. We cannot sell it. We cannot lose it. We are the fire. We will burn every despair away. Now we must decide. Will we drown in the darkness of despair or rise as the sun of hope? Will we change the fate of this nation, or will we let it remain in shackles? King Birendra once said, even if I die, shall my country live on? All the youths, carry these words in your hearts and engrave a monument of change in the course of history. Nepal is ours, and its future is in our hands. Jai Yuva! Jai Nepal!
Uncontrollable Gen Z protests. A nationwide social media ban. Parliament ransacked, homes set ablaze, and at least 22 killed. The scenes unfolding in Nepal reflect the explosive anger against deep-rooted corruption in the country. What began as street protests took a drastic turn when those in power began stepping down. It started with the Home Minister's resignation and triggered a domino effect. In a matter of hours, both President Ramchandra Goel and Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli announced their shocking resignations. At that very moment, Gen Z won. Their relentless protest forced a change in government. In a virtual meeting lasting nearly 4 hours, members of the Gen Z movement accepted former Chief Justice Sushila Karki as the interim leader. Nepal is also witnessing a Bangladesh-style power shift with a civilian-led interim government. Sushila Karki was the first and only woman justice of Nepal. In 2017, Karki was suspended just before her retirement after 2 political parties in the ruling coalition filed an impeachment motion against her. The parties accused the former Chief Justice of delivering biased verdicts and interfering in the executive's jurisdiction. Now unaffiliated with any political party, Karki has been chosen as an interim leader to ensure the neutrality during negotiations. She will lead Nepal until a legitimate successor government can be formed through elections. So who will be the future leader of Nepal? Amid the escalating chaos, the Nepal army has spoken out. It urged citizens to show restraint and warned against anarchy. The army has pledged to protect the nation's sovereignty, heritage, and public property. Currently, the army and other security forces are in control of the streets of Nepal, but their role is limited to maintaining law and order and not running the government. Under Nepal's constitution, Article 267 allows the military deployment in 2 cases. Clause 4 for development work or disaster relief. Clause 6 during rebellion, external threats, or major unrest with top-level approval. The current deployment of army troops aligns with Clause 6 of Article 267, but for now, the army insists it's only handling security and not governing Nepal. The political chaos in Nepal has revived calls for the return of monarchy. Frustrated with the current crisis, will Nepal now turn to King Gyanendra, who was once deposed by this very land? The monarchy was abolished in 2008 when Gyanendra was forced to step down after mass protests against his direct rule. He was accused of dissolving parliament, jailing politicians, and even using the army to govern. Nearly 2 decades after the fall, Nepal is staring down a familiar dark lane. Will democracy's failure push the nation to bring a king